Good afternoon. My name is Brian Grzymkowski. I'm one of the Assistant Directors of Graduate Admissions here at William Paterson University. Want to thank you for taking time out of your day to join us for our webinar. I'm joined here by Dr. Carol Frierson-Campbell, who's going to be speaking at length about our Master of Music with concentration in music education. It's our hope that this is a helpful and easy way for you to get a lot of information in a relatively short amount of time to learn about our program. Certainly our hope that if you haven't applied already, you'll consider doing so in the near future. Want to just go over a couple quick things before we get started. First, I want to make sure you are aware if you are interested in what you hear and you do want to follow up and get the chance to be here on campus, to see the campus for yourself if you haven't been on our campus, to meet faculty members from within the department, we will be having a graduate open house on February 26th, which is a Sunday, from 1 to 3 p.m. So would encourage you if you are interested. The link is right on our website at wpunj.edu, right on the graduate admissions page there. You'll see upcoming events, and certainly we'd love to have you on campus sometime soon. Also want to make sure you're aware we are going to be making this presentation available to you in its entirety further down the line. So if you have to leave a little bit early for one reason or another, if someone joins us late and hops in and misses the first couple slides, we are going to be emailing you the link to our YouTube channel, and we usually take about a week after the event concludes to put it up there, and that gives you the chance to be hands-free now. You don't have to sit there with a pen and a notebook, jot down notes. You'll be able to refer back to any of this a little bit further down the line. So I wanted to make sure you were aware of that as well. Lastly, we're going to be having a question and answer session at the end of our webinar. So unless you have to leave early, again, for one reason or another, you can hold your questions until the end. But if you do have the need to leave early, feel free to type them in the chat box in front of you on the GoToWebinar panel, and then we will address those and we can type you a quick answer and make sure that you get the information that you need. With that being said, I know you're not here to listen to me talk away. You're here to learn more about our program. So I'll turn it over to Dr. Carol Frierson-Campbell. Take it away.
Thank you, Brian, and thanks to those of you that are joining us this afternoon to hear about the Master of Music with concentration in music education. I want to make note that our program is a bit unique because we do have a Master of Music that combines scholarship with pedagogy and performance. So I'm going to give a few details about that. Our Master of Music program is a 36-credit program. We do offer opportunities for applied study, which may include study on an instrument or conducting, and for qualified candidates, even a few options for studying jazz. Our degree options are very flexible, which allow you to take classes across the campus. They have to be graduate level classes, but classes across the campus should you have another area of interest. You really can follow a performance, practical, or theoretical approach, which means that if really what you want to do is to improve your chops, we have a 12-credit requirement or a 12-credit option, 3-credit requirement for applied study. It might be practical that you want to become a better teacher, or you may really want to look into the theories behind education or other elements of musicianship, and any of those will work. I do also want to point out that this degree is not for candidates who are seeking initial teaching certification. The university does have a program for that called the Master of Arts in Teaching, and I've included a link in the slide for more information about that. Curriculum specifics for the Master of Music and Music Education. Required classes include Foundations of Music Education. I'm very excited that we are working with TIME to affiliate our music technology class, research techniques, analytical techniques, which combines a little bit of history and a little bit of theory, applied lessons and ensemble, and then a number of electives, and then a final project in a class called Graduate Seminar that you complete that project in. Some of the electives that are available include music psychology, advanced choral or instrumental conducting, advanced instrumental pedagogy, advanced instrumental techniques, as I said earlier, interdisciplinary options, and sometimes the best bet is just to arrange an independent study with a faculty member that can really guide you. We have two full-time music education faculty, myself, I'm Dr. Carol Frierson-Campbell, and also Dr. Diane Falk-Romain. Both of us are very active in the music education field. And we have quite an active music faculty. There are about 18 of us, and I've included a photo and a link to the faculty and staff directory if you have any specific questions for one of us. And I also want to point out our really active applied studios, and I've included links for each of those. So study in piano, strings, percussion, brass, voice, woodwinds, guitar, and jazz. And each of those has a link to it, so if you have additional questions about those studios, you can address those. Admission requirements for our degree: the first step is to apply to the university. There's a graduate application. There's also a slide room application. The slide room application goes directly to the Department of Music, and we ask for 2 letters of reference. We do have a floating deadline. However, it's best to apply by April 15th for summer or fall, and by November 15th for spring. If you are planning on audition, there's 2 options. A classical audition is a live audition. Jazz audition is a recorded audition, and you can also submit a music teaching or conducting video audition by way of slide room. There's more information about those possibilities on the music department website, which is just the university website with a slash and music, wpunj.edu/music. Just so that you have an idea of who takes this degree. Most students are practicing teachers who want to expand their knowledge and skill base. Most people take about 3 years to complete the degree. It's possible to complete the degree with summer courses and coursework during the semester, and often that's online. It's possible, very possible, to enjoy applied study as part of the degree plan, and the degree does require a final project that helps you to reach your professional goals. That's really an important part of the degree. This summer we're really excited to be able to offer 2 sessions of classes. In the first, the Foundations of Music Education, which is one of our required courses. And this is the first year that we're going to be offering a TIME-sanctioned Technology for the Music Educator course. In the second 3-week session, we'll be offering a class in Advanced Instrumental Techniques and also assessment for the music educator to kind of catch up with all of the help practicing teachers catch up with all the new assessment requirements. I want to give you a sense of what some of the previous students have accomplished in terms of their final projects. As I said earlier, having a final project topic that really meets the students' growth objectives is our goal. So those include a thesis or curriculum project or a lecture recital. So you can see some possible titles that previous students have followed in terms of theses or curriculum projects: an examination of the influence of gender on musical instrument choice, Charles Warden's Percussion Symphony, so very much a musical analysis, Beyond the Language Barrier, Creative Strategies Aimed Towards Engaging 6th Grade Bilingual Students in the General Music Classroom. That was very much an action research in the classroom kind of study. Authentic Performance-Based Rock and Roll Music Studies in Secondary Education. That was very much a survey and a quantitative look at what's happening in rock music in secondary schools. Lecture recital is basically just that. It's a recital on a topic. If you think about maybe what you would experience at a really high quality workshop. So lecture recital topics have included things like the history and development of the marimba and Claire Musser's influence on the contemporary instrument, melodic drum set compositions related to Max Roach and Terry Bozzio, and the mazurkas of Mikhail Glinka. Also, you just may want to know who are some of the folks in the area that have taken part in this degree. So I've got a list there. I'm not going to read those to you, but I'm sure any of those folks would be more than willing to give you more information if you are curious about the Master of Music and Music Education. And I can tell you that all of those folks had different perspectives and then graduated with final projects that really helped them to grow in those directions. As Brian mentioned earlier, we would encourage you to schedule a visit. You could do that by coming to the open house or just by emailing myself or the music admissions office and setting up a visit, after your school day. But we'd be very happy to see you and look forward to hearing your questions about the degree. So I'm going to turn it back over to Brian to see if there are any questions.
Thank you very much. For anybody who may have joined us late, just wanted to refresh on 2 things. But as I'm speaking, if you do have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat box. We'll read them off and go through them and answer them one by one as they come in. Want to make sure that you're aware, again, I know she just plugged it, but I can't stress it enough. We do have an open house coming up on February 26th. It's certainly a wonderful opportunity to come and see the campus, to meet faculty members from the department, to actually see them face-to-face, talk about your interests in the program, get your questions answered, and certainly if you wanted to get all the information that you need about applying for the program. So keep that in mind for February 26th, which is a Sunday from 1 to 3 p.m. Also, want to make sure you're aware we are going to be sharing this recording in its entirety with everyone who received an email invitation to this webinar. So if you arrived early, or rather if you arrived late, or if you missed a few slides, you will have the opportunity to go back over this a little bit further down the line if that would be helpful for you. So we did have a couple questions that came in, so I'm going to just jump right into it. Could you speak a little bit about how auditions work for the program? Is there any type of a live audition? How does that work for your department?
The audition depends on the area that you want to focus on with your applied study. So if you consider yourself more of a classroom teacher, a band director, a choir director, and really want to focus on that element, you can submit a video. Online is a clearer description of exactly what those requirements are, and I don't have that written down, so I don't want to misquote. But basically, a couple of contrasting scenes of yourself teaching the thing that you want us to see. And if you're a classical musician and really want to focus on studying your instrument, then you would schedule with Music Admissions a live audition. Usually those auditions are held in early April for graduate students, although we can often schedule around someone's individual needs.
And then is there any type of a thesis requirement for the program, and how does that work if there is?
We use the word final project because your option, there is a final project requirement. It does not have to be a thesis. Many students, probably most students, do a thesis, but the final project could be a formal thesis, it can be a curriculum project, it can be a lecture recital. Basically, the coursework is designed to help you prepare for that. So one of the first courses you'll take is Foundations of Music Education, that kind of introduces a lot of the scholarly thinking around music education, music and education. Then you'll take a course called Research Techniques, where you'll really kind of start the thinking about your final project. Through that course, you'll develop what will really become the proposal for your final project. And then there's another course that's generally the last course that's taken, and that's called Graduate Seminar. And in that course, which is very much a seminar where you work not only with the faculty member but also with other students, you formally propose the topic that you want to follow, and then you complete whatever the final project is in that particular course.
And I know this can vary a little bit, certainly dependent on the student's course load overall, but about how long does it take the average student coming into this program to complete the program overall?
Most students take about 3 years. Ideally, if you come in summers, you can complete in 3 summers. That doesn't always work just exactly because of course scheduling. But if you do summers plus the school year, there's really no problem completing the program in 3 years. We do offer several of the music education specific courses online.
Thank you very much. And then can a student get a teaching certification with this particular degree?
No, I'm really glad you asked that, because we do work very closely with the College of Education. They have a program called the Master of Arts in Teaching. And so Master of Arts in Teaching students take 3 methods courses through the music department, methods for teaching courses, and then they take the Introduction to Research, the course we call Research Techniques, and the Graduate Seminar with us. But the program is actually a College of Education program, and somebody interested in that program would need to apply to the College of Education. That's called the Master of Arts in Teaching. There's a link to that, I believe, on the 2nd or 3rd slide, so you can find that.
And then another question, not entirely dissimilar, can I be a part of the jazz program with this degree?
Can I be a part of the jazz program? It depends on what you mean by a part of the jazz program. A student that's a music education major cannot be involved in the jazz performance program per se, but you can take many jazz classes, and if your audition suggests that you're at a level appropriate, you can often study with some of the jazz faculty.
And then one other question, how much flexibility is there to take courses outside of the music department if a student has some other interest that they're hoping to incorporate into their study?
There's tremendous flexibility for taking courses outside the department, and we really encourage that. The one caveat is that they do need to be master's level courses. But we've had students that were interested in administration, we've had students that were interested in special education or working with special needs students, and you know, at a comprehensive university like this one, we are just really delighted that we have those opportunities across campus.
Thank you very much. At least as of right now, it seems like that's it for our questions. So that will end the formal part of our presentation. I can't thank you enough, Dr. Carol Frierson-Campbell. This has been a wonderful presentation. I want to again thank everybody who took the time to come out to join us today. Want to stress again, we are going to be sharing this recording with you in the near future, so keep your eyes on your inbox. There will be a link to our YouTube channel. In the meantime, certainly feel free to check out our YouTube channel anyway. We have a number of different presentations that have taken place, and a number of them have been some of our Master of Music programs, so certainly feel free to take a look at that. You could simply do a search for WPGrad, and our YouTube channel should pop right up. And again, I can't stress enough, we hope we see you on February 26th for our upcoming open house. And for all of us here at the Graduate Admissions Office, and certainly for our music education program, thank you again for your time, and have a wonderful day. Take care.